Saturday morning on Denver 7.
No woman is free until we're all free.
Where they're sharing the message that you can be for women at the same time that you're against abortion.
The midterm elections are heating up and activists are taking to the streets to advocate for their causes. Details on the demonstrations making their post-2020 return today. The White House downplaying warnings from President Biden about nuclear activity overseas.
And we don't assess that President Putin has made a decision to use nuclear weapons at this time.
Plus, the latest on the explosion that's now threatening transportation between mainland Russia and southern Ukraine. Back here at home, you can get in the spooky mindset starting this weekend. How you can meet some spirits at Boulder's oldest cemetery in town.
We're following breaking news right now. Broomfield police now have a bank robbery suspect in custody after an attempted theft overnight. Police confirm the suspect allegedly broke in overnight and then barricaded himself inside the bank once police arrived. This happened close to Wadsworth and Highway 128. SWAT was on the scene and surrounding businesses were on lockout, but all that is cleared up now. Good morning and welcome to Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Saturday morning. Let's start with some of the top stories we're following for you this weekend.
Thornton police are asking for your help to find this woman. 66-year-old Deborah DeVolt was last seen walking in the area of 103rd and York around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police say she's anywhere from 5'3" to 5'5". Her hair has grayed since this photo was taken, and she has hazel eyes. She was last seen wearing a long blue coat. If you see her or if you have any information, call 911.
Well, Aurora police are still without a chief this weekend, and now that the department is back to the drawing board, they're focusing on connecting with their community. Today, the APD officers will be out at Herofest. It's an event focused on celebrating first responders while also making them accessible to the people they serve.
Events like this are extremely important for the community and police officers. It allows us to interact with each other in a non-enforcement positive light, which builds trust amongst law enforcement and the community.
And if you're interested in attending, you can head to the Aurora Town Center from noon until 4 o'clock. The department will also have video games and other fun stuff for you and your family to enjoy. The event is free.
Arvada Fire is opening its first new fire station in more than 40 years, and the new station is near Highway 72 and Candelas Parkway. It'll serve the Candelas community and the northwest corner of Arvada. The station includes a brush truck specially equipped to respond to wildfires. The grand opening takes place at 10 a.m.
And it is currently 9:02, and we're giving you a live look over downtown Denver. We started off this morning under low-lying clouds, some areas of fog, and we're starting to see those clouds break up here over the metro area, and we're in for more sunshine this afternoon. Up to the west right now, Rocky Mountain National Park, it is crystal clear. Some light snow lingering there over Long's Peak. Here across the Denver area, the clouds will give way to sunshine and temperatures will be warmer this afternoon. Right now, though, we're only in the low 40s still over Aurora and Castle Rock up into Greeley. 30s over Berthoud Pass and only 29 degrees right now in Copper Mountain. We started off in the 20s in Leadville, but now we're above freezing at 36 degrees, 40s and 50s filtering into the plains. So your metro area planner, expect more sunshine by 11 o'clock, 55 degrees by then, and our daytime highs will be in the 60s. Even warmer over the next couple of afternoons. I'll take you through the 7 days still to come.
After a 2-year hiatus, Women's March Denver is returning to Civic Center Park this morning, and that's where we find Denver 7's Brandon Richard. And Brandon, people are already starting to show up for the march.
Yeah, that's right, Jessica. Things will kick off here in just a few moments with a rally. You can see here behind me, we've got a big turnout here, at least a couple of hundred folks here on hand for the rally. That rally is going to feature a number of progressive women leaders and Democratic women leaders speaking. That rally will be followed by the actual march at 10 o'clock this morning. You know, we spoke with organizers of this event this morning. They told us that, this is really going to be focused on equality and reproductive rights. Of course, that U.S. Supreme Court decision this summer overturning Roe v. Wade and the constitutional right to an abortion has angered progressives all across Colorado and all across the country. They say that's going to be one of the big issues as we head into the midterm election. And organizers say they're really hoping that that really inspires women to get involved in the political process.
It's important because we all need to remember to stay fully engaged in our democracy. We need to stay up to date on the candidates and the issues, and we need to make sure that we're getting out and voting every single time.
And we've learned that there will be a counter protest happening today. Students for Life say they will be here to represent all of the people, including women, who are against abortion rights. But organizers on both sides say, even though they disagree, they do plan to be respectful to each other. Again, things will kick off here in just a few minutes at Civic Center Park. For now, we're live in Denver this morning. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
A lot of important things to talk about. Thank you, Brandon. There's also a march in Boulder today in favor of reproductive rights. The YWCA of Boulder County, they're in front of the Boulder County Courthouse right now. They started gathering right at 9 o'clock, so just about 5 minutes ago. The organization says today's march is in conjunction with the events happening in Denver and across the U.S. For more information about today's events, head to action.womensmarch.com.
It is about to be a busy day across the metro, and there's also going to be a protest to honor the lives of young women lost in a suicide bombing attack in Afghanistan last week. For weeks, there's been demonstrations in the Middle East in the name of women's rights. And today, starting at 5:30 at our Capitol in Denver, a group will be gathering to spread awareness of these events.
3 people are now dead after an explosion on the Kerch Bridge overnight. Absolutely devastating. You can see it right there. That is one of the main connectors between Russia and southern Ukraine, which means important supplies like food and fuel may not reach people who need it. This comes as the White House continues to downplay President Joe Biden's warnings that the world is at risk of nuclear, quote, Armageddon. ABC's Britt Clennett is on the ground in Ukraine with the latest.
This morning, a massive explosion crippling Russia's only bridge to annexed Crimea. Videos circulating online showing parts of it engulfed in flames. The bridge, a critical supply line for Russian troops. Russian authorities saying a truck bomb caused 7 railway cars to catch fire and caused part of the bridge to collapse. And overnight, Russian missile strikes in Kharkiv, sending plumes of smoke into the air. Rescuers frantically searching through rubble for survivors. The blast coming as Ukraine breaks through Russian lines in the south and east. Ukrainian President Zelensky claiming 300 square miles of Russian-occupied territory have been retaken this week alone. And as Russia's losses mount, the Kremlin stepping up aerial attacks on civilians. This satellite image showing the attacks on the city of Zaporizhia, less than 50 miles from Europe's largest nuclear power plant, which also came under shelling overnight, depowering the plant. The UN's nuclear watchdog in Kyiv this week ahead of talks with Moscow to try to set up a security zone around the Russian-controlled plant.
We are continuing saying what needs to be done, which is basically avoid a nuclear accident at the plant, which is still a very, very clear possibility.
And as nuclear fears escalate, President Biden warning of the risk of nuclear war. At a New York City fundraiser, the president saying, quote, "We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis." The White House walking back on those remarks, later clarifying, saying there's no evidence Russian President Vladimir Putin is planning to use nuclear weapons imminently.
Coming up, October is known for Halloween, of course, but there are a lot of other important holidays going on too. How you can participate in Dia de los Muertos and Indigenous Peoples Day. Next.